Hello students. Today I am going to explain Human Digestive System, the first chapter of Biology of class 10, that is life processes. Before I start this Human Digestive System, we need to know what is digestion. Digestion is the biochemical process by which complex food is broken into the simplest form, which is easily absorbable by the body cells. One more question is there. It is very important to know why this system is needed. Why do we need this system? What is its importance? The importance of this system is that our body needs nutrients to stay healthy. And this system breaks nutrients into small parts. You can say that small absorbable parts. Why? So that our cells can use these nutrients for getting energy, for proper growth and for cell repairing. This is what the human digestive system proper functioning, and that is why we need this digestive system. Now, अब हमें ये जानने की जरूरत है कि इस ह्यूमन डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम means what? When group of organs work together, when group of organs work together in coordinated manner, then this is what is known as system. System means what? When more than one organs, not only body organs, when more than one organs work together in well coordinated manner, then this is known as system. Same here in digestive system. There are so many organs, they all are functioning together in well coordinated manner. So it is known as human digestive system. What does it consist? First of all, we need to know the parts of human digestive system. It starts from mouth. It starts from mouth and it's completed in anus. Means mouth to anus. There are so many parts from mouth to anus. So let us write what are these parts. So let me first explain you what are these different parts which are found in our human digestive system. See, in human digestive system, the first very important part is mouth. That you can see here. This is mouth. It is also known as oral cavity. It is also known as oral cavity. The second part is esophagus. The second part is esophagus. This is what esophagus. This is what esophagus. Right after esophagus, there is stomach. There is stomach. You can see this bag-like structure. This is what? Stomach. After stomach, small intestine. The next one is small intestine. That we can see here. This is what? Small intestine. Right after that, large intestine. The next one is large intestine. These all are the parts of human digestive system. Then rectum and anus. So this is what known as human digestive system parts. And you know, there are some glands. What type of glands? Exocrine glands. These exocrine glands are actually those glands which secretes enzymes. They secretes enzymes. So in human digestive system, some exocrine glands are also associated. What are those glands? Always remember, these glands are very important. So with this organ's name, these endocrine glands' name are also very important to learn. The first one is salivary gland. Second very important gland is liver. The third one is pancreas. The fourth one is gastric gland. And the fifth one is intestinal gland. Intestinal gland. These all 5 glands are associated with human digestive system. You know, this complete structure is also known as alimentary canal. This full structure is also known as alimentary canal. What do we mean by this alimentary canal? Alimentary canal है क्या? ये माउथ से होता हुआ एनस तक एक कनाल की तरह स्ट्रक्चर है. वो कहीं बड़ा भी है, कहीं छोटा भी है, कहीं मोटा भी है, कहीं पतला भी है, लेकिन एक कंटिन्यूअस कनाल चला आ रहा है जो माउथ से स्टार्ट हुआ है और कंटिन्यूअसली एनस तक आ रहा है. इसे हम एलिमेंट्री कनाल भी कहते हैं. दिस इज ऑल्सो नोन एज एलिमेंट्री कनाल. सो दिस इज ऑल द पार्ट्स and the glands associated with human digestive system. First of all, food goes to your oral cavity, then it moves towards esophagus. From esophagus it goes to your stomach. In stomach it goes to small intestine, then large intestine, then rectum and anus, and then it is excreted out. And right in between it get mixes with these enzymes which are produced by different types of glands, exocrine glands. So this is what we are going to know today, how it moves from one part to another and where do they get mixed with these enzymes and how this complete food is digested. So let us know one by one. The very first thing I am going to explain you about the mouth. What happened within the mouth and where these all glands get associated with all these organs. Mouth, as I have told you, this mouth is also known as oral cavity or buccal cavity. In mouth, 2 things are found: tongue and teeth. Tongue and teeth. This tongue is a muscular flap-like structure. What it does? A very important thing to know. What it does? Its major function is to, you know what? To taste the food. The first thing is there to taste the food. And the second important part is what you know? That it helps in speaking. It helps in speaking. And the third important part is at the time of chewing your food, it sends the food near the teeth again and again to get well crushed. This is what the most important part of this tongue, that it sends the food near the teeth to get it well crushed. Second thing is teeth. As we know well, there are 4 types. The first one is incisors, second one is canines, third one is premolars, and the fourth one is molars. Molars. Incisors, canines, premolars and molars. Is it clear? And in each jaw, 16 teeth are there. All 4 types of teeth are found in both the jaw. 16 and 16, it becomes completely 32. It becomes completely 32. What is their function? Their function is cutting, biting, crushing and grinding. They all do this with the food. Is clear to you all? Now we have to know about what happens in mouth. So let us start to know how this digestive system occurs or how the food get digested. In mouth, when we take food in our mouth, we start chewing it well. While chewing, what happens? The salivary gland starts secreting its secretion. The salivary gland starts secreting its secretion. And what is that secretion? Their secretion is known as saliva. The secretion is known as saliva. This saliva consists salivary amylase. It consists salivary amylase, which is also known as ptyalin. Once again, when we take food in our mouth and when our teeth start crushing it well, at the same time, the salivary glands which are present in your mouth, there are 3 pairs of salivary glands. In your mouth, there are 3 pairs of salivary glands. The first pair is right below your ears, both the sides. The second pair is below your tongue, and the third pair is just at the place where both the jaw is joining. So these are the 3 pairs of salivary glands which are found in your mouth. So this salivary gland secretes saliva when food goes to your mouth, and this saliva is consisting salivary amylase, which is also known as ptyalin. Do you know what they do? This saliva start digesting starch present in your food. Means the digestion of food starts from mouth. This saliva convert starch into simpler form of carbohydrate, you can say. And then it goes for further digestion to the different parts of body. When this saliva mixes with the food, it makes the food slippery, lubricated. Slippery and lubricated. At the same time, this tongue and teeth is crushing the food and the tongue is making it as a bolus form. The tongue is helping to convert the food in bolus form, ball-like structure, easy to engulf. So when it goes to your esophagus, it is slippery, lubricated, so easily engulfed. The opening of food pipe, right, the opening of food pipe and windpipe, that is what known as glottis. The opening of food pipe is what known as glottis, which is covered by a cartilaginous flap-like structure. This glottis is covered by cartilaginous flap-like structure known as epiglottis. What is the function of this epiglottis? This epiglottis covers this windpipe. This epiglottis covers windpipe at the time of engulfing food, so that not a single particle or not any particle of food goes to the windpipe. Suppose if the food will go to the windpipe, what will happen? Obviously, we start choking, coughing to release that food from that windpipe. So to prevent the entry of food, this epiglottis covers windpipe at the time of engulfing food. This is what the function of epiglottis. Now, food is chewed properly, lubricated properly, and it is going to the esophagus. Now, food is in the bolus form. When it passes through the esophagus, our esophagus expand and contract. Means the esophagus moves like that. It becomes like that. When food passes, it gets its own position. So this movement of food through esophagus and the contraction and expansion of this food pipe is called peristalsis movement. This movement is what known as peristalsis movement. This movement is what called peristalsis movement of food. There is no digestion in esophagus. No digestion. So food comes to J-shaped structure known as stomach. It comes to J-shaped structure known as stomach. So let us know about the stomach now. What happens with the stomach? How the food starts digesting in stomach? See, stomach is J-shaped structure. Stomach is a J-shaped structure. So in stomach, what happens? In stomach, inner lining of stomach consists glands. You must have known, no? I have written there Gastric gland. So the gastric gland is found in stomach. What is found in stomach? Gastric gland. And this gastric gland consists, what it consists? HCl, mucus and pepsinogen. And pepsinogen. HCl, mucus and pepsinogen. These are the secreted by gastric gland. And this is all known as gastric juice. They are what called? Gastric juice. So what is this function? What is the function of this all? When food comes to stomach, you know, food remains in stomach 4 to 5 hours. It remains in stomach 4 to 5 hours. And then it moves. In your stomach, it moves. And this movement of food in your stomach is called churning of food. What it's called? Churning of food. And right after the movement, when the complete food is churned well, it is known as chyme. It is known as chyme. You know, and this chyme is made in stomach. So let us know HCl, mucus and pepsinogen. How do they work? First of all, when food comes to stomach, it also consists lots of micro, or you can say microorganisms, or bacteria, or different types of harmful organisms, microorganisms. So they are killed by HCl. They are killed by HCl. At the same time, this HCl makes the complete medium of stomach acidic. It makes the medium of stomach acidic. You know, in a day, around 1.5 to 2 liters of this HCl is secreted in our stomach. Around 1.5 to 2 liters of HCl is secreted in our stomach every day. So this HCl first of all kills the microorganisms present in food. Second thing, it makes the medium acidic. Why is the medium acidic needed? When food comes from our mouth, it is completely basic. Because the medium of our mouth is basic. When it comes to stomach, it becomes acidic. It is due to the function of pepsinogen. This pepsinogen gets converted into pepsine. This pepsinogen gets converted into pepsine in acidic medium. ये जो पेप्सिनोजेन है वो एसिडिक मीडियम में पेप्सिन में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. इसीलिए जरूरी है कि मीडियम एसिडिक हो. और ये जैसे ही पेप्सिन में कन्वर्ट होता है, ये पेप्सिन फूड में प्रेजेंट प्रोटीन को डाइजेस्ट करना शुरू कर देता है. Then the last one is mucus. If HCl is being produced in your stomach, it may harm the inner lining of stomach or the organs. So to protect the inner lining from the harmful effects of HCl, this mucus is there. What it does, it makes a layer around the inner lining, and this mucus helps to protect the inner lining of stomach. This is all function of stomach. So now we are going to know about small intestine. ये खाना जब स्टमक से होता हुआ स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में आता है 4 से 5 घंटे के बाद, तो इस खाने का पूरा डाइजेशन यहाँ स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में होता है. The food what comes from stomach to the small intestine get well digested in small intestine, or you can say that the digestion completes in small intestine. Small intestine has 3 parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. You know, it is a coiled structure. See properly. It is a coiled structure around 7.5 meter long. It may be more than 7.5 meter. That much long this is. And food completely get digested in this small, thin, coiled structure. When food comes from stomach to the small intestine, at the same time, liver and bile secretes their enzymes, get mixes with the food in small intestine. Liver, let us know what is this liver. As I have told you, liver is the exocrine gland, and you know this liver is the largest gland of our body. It is around 1.5 kg. It is the largest gland. See here, at the side of stomach it is found, and this liver secretes bile, which consists salts called bile salts. At the same time, pancreas also secretes pancreatic juice. Pancreatic juice. This pancreatic juice has all kind of enzymes. Amylase, lipase, protease, all kind of enzymes means what? It has all type of enzymes to digest carbohydrate, protein and fat. This liver, when it secretes salts, it means what? It never secretes any kind of enzymes. There is no enzyme secreted by liver. It only secretes a kind of juice which consists salts, nothing else. But pancreas secretes all kind of enzymes. So these both secretions get mixed in the food present in the small intestine. How do they come? They come by the ducts called pancreatic duct and bile duct. Through the duct they come and get mixes with the food in small intestine. And you know, this duodenum part, this is the part where digestion completes. These all juices mix in duodenum with food, and after mixing they start digesting all kind of food. Either it is protein, or it is carbohydrate, or it is fat. This protein finally gets converted into amino acid. Carbohydrate gets converted into simple glucose, and fat gets converted into glycerol. So these all are the conversion after the final digestion. After getting converted into simpler form, the food goes to large intestine. But before going to large intestine, it crosses through jejunum. There is no digestion in jejunum. Already digestion completed in duodenum. And finally they reach to ileum. Ileum is the last part of small intestine. At the same time, this ileum or the small intestine has one more gland called intestinal gland. What it secretes? It also secretes intestinal juice. And they all mixes and completed the digestion of food. You know, intestinal gland secretion called intestinal juice, pancreatic juice and bile. These all three combinedly called succus entericus. इन तीनों एंजाइम्स को बोलते हैं सक्कस इंटेरिकस, और ये तीनों सिक्रीशंस मिल करके सारे फूड को डाइजेस्ट करते हैं, और ये डाइजेस्टेड फूड लिक्विड फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट होकर इलियम तक आता है. Where does it comes? It comes to ileum. And what happened in ileum? In ileum absorption is done. How the absorption? Ileum is actually, you know, ileum has a rough structure. Small finger-like projections are there in the ileum. At the surface of ileum, finger-like projections are there known as villi. They are called villi. And every villi is connected with the blood vessels. Every villi is connected with the blood vessels. So when this liquid form of food reaches to ileum, this rough surface, what they do? They absorbs this liquid part. Why this rough surface is there? This rough surface is to increase the surface area. There is a question, what do you mean by increasing surface area? Have you ever seen towel hanky? If you see the towel hanky and if the same shape of same size of another hanky you take, which has more power to absorb liquid, this is the towel hanky. Why? The surface is rough. The thread what is woven there, it is more bigger than the plain hanky. Obviously, if more thread is there, more absorption will be there. So the same thing happen in the villi. They are rough, or in ileum, they are rough, small finger-like projections. What they do? They absorb the liquid form of food, or you can say liquid form of digested food, and then they give it to the blood directly. And this digested food mixes with the blood, which gets distributed to each and every cell of our body. Then what happened with the undigested food, or you can say solid food? This solid food goes to large intestine. Excess of water and solid food goes to large intestine, where needed water is reabsorbed and excess amount of water with solid food goes to rectum, where they get stored for some time and then they are eliminated out by anus in the form of fecal matter, in the form of stool, or in the form of feces. In the form of feces. This is what the complete human digestive system. There was one part known as vermiform appendix. There was one part in this whole digestive system, vermiform appendix. This vermiform appendix is actually the vestigial part of our body. It has no use. There is no use of this vermiform appendix. It is useful in grazing animals. They help in the digestion of cellulose. But there is no use of vermiform appendix in our case. So that is why it is known as vestigial organ. Thank you, students. I hope you like the explanation of human digestive system. If you like, then please like, share and click the bell icon. Thank you.